Hey guys, today I wanted to show you something funny. Or at least tell you something funny. Okay, so I decided to start this little story thing up. Because I have a lot to tell, why the fuck not? Now the first one was probably the most predictable thing ever. Why in the world? Why in the world would I like Sans in the first place? Now, honestly, I have no fucking clue, and I don't know how it started. Because honestly, I have a lot to get through when it comes to this. Now, first off, so I was on DeviantArt just dicking around, looking through some pretty dank memes, like the meme parts, and then I came across, and honestly, this is when Undertale was brand spanking new, like it came out just a few days back, and I found this little fan art kind of thing on Undertale. And I had no fucking clue what it was. So I looked it up and I watched the trailer for it. And surprise, surprise, it already came out. So I was like, and since my birthday was approaching, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna get that shit for my birthday. Along with Sony Movie Studio. I was originally going to get Vocaloid and all that, but what does that have to do anything with the story? Well, I don't fucking know. Well, so, Little Friendly decided to get Undertale and Sony Movie Studio for her 14th birthday in the end. And I just said, when that day rolled around, I got a little Fox Volpon plush and Sony Movie Studio, and by about noon I was eating my lunch and I nearly forgot something. I was like, oh my god, I nearly forgot one thing, and it totally struck, and I totally remembered I didn't get Undertale yet, so I did, and I got my mom to pay that good-ass, fine-ass $10 for me, and I got the game, and I played it, and I literally could not get off of it. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking brilliant. And of course I got to the part right before EU5 Papyrus, and that I played that straight for until that, and I decided I need to eat my cake, so I did. And my Aunt Jamie was over and all that. I was still playing Undertale. So by the time I got to that, I ate cake, all that, everything was fine. A few days later, I progressed a little bit more, got stuck on Muffet, then I decided to restart the game eventually, but so on and so forth. So, it was all one fateful day that I realized, well, I haven't picked a favorite character yet, and by favorite, I don't really give a shit if it's a favorite, because honestly, this was the time after the sexual abuse, and I felt like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going near any boys for now. Actually, I wasn't really like that until I had the sudden realization that I was like that. So, I had a slight crush on someone else, okay? And then, after a while, I was like, why the fuck? This person, like, I slowly dropped the crush on that one person and just considered him a friend, and then it happened. It suddenly struck. My brain is fucked, okay? If you thought me liking a series about my favorite animal getting murdered, they're murdering each other, was entertaining and made dogs my favorite animal, and actually thinking that a villain was my favorite character in the entire planet, and actually having my online name set with a portion of it as that character, then hell yeah, I'm fucked in the head. But the thing is, I was pretty fucked in the head because, I don't know, I didn't know that this was possible. Like, honestly, I don't know how it started. I'm completely fucking clueless on how I developed this, because one day, I was just like, you know what, just fuck life. Fuck life and fuck all of it. I want to crush on Sans, because honestly, I honestly have no clue why I would ever do that. And of course, I was acing my Sony Movie Studio skills and all that, and it was about halfway. Everything was okay? It wasn't huge, it wasn't humongous, but it was growing, I mean. But the stupidest thing happened, okay? I slowly got to the point where, you know what? if I want to fuck someone, they don't want to fuck me, I want to fuck them. Because it's not going to be, oh, only one person. It's got to be where I decide, and I'm able to do it. What does this have to do with this? Because I wanted to fuck him eventually. And I was like, how is this possible? Does he have a dick? No, he's a skeleton. How does he have a dick? So then I told my friend that, and I texted her a few texts like, hey, I totally don't want to bone a skeleton. And this okay sign. And then I was about to go to sleep. And then in 8:30 at the fucking night, and honestly, I was about to go to sleep, I heard a vibrating sound on my phone, like, brr, brr, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Dad's out there. Who the hell is it? So, it wasn't anyone calling me. So I went outside, and I decided to fake go into the restroom, because I grabbed my phone, and I told Dad I'm going to go to the restroom. So I went into the phone, sat on the toilet seat, and opened up my phone. I did not unlock it yet, only to see the notifications of something completely... It was something I would never expect from her, okay? And she sent me a bunch of lewd pictures of Sans. Like, flashing and shit. I was like, what the fuck? And the next morning, I kind of scolded her for it. And I told her... Actually, no, I sent a picture of Temmie. You know, like that surprised face she has. I sent her that. And then the next morning, I was just, like, dicking around with those pictures. I was like, does he even have a dick? So I looked it up. And according to fans, they made up this thing like a ghost dick. And I read a few fan fictions. Yes, that was the time I read the one, like the one with conjured cock. That's the time I first read that. And I read it a lot, way late. But I decided... You know what? It is possible. If shit like this exists, it is possible. So, after a while, she kept sending me those pictures, until the point where she sent me this one, where it had dicks, and I said, that's too far, stop. But, eventually, she laid off for a while. And then she started sending me more dick pics of them, and honestly... I was okay with that at that point. I mean, I would yell at her, but... Jesus fucking Christ, man. And... then, I just did the craziest shit. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this to myself. So, I got a few pictures off of Tumblr, that kind of stuff that she would send me, and I said, you know what? My goal is to download more stuff than she ever sent me. So, actually no, that was not my goal until now, which I think it was already done. Because I collected pictures like that on my phone of Sans, mostly dicks. Mostly pretty fucking explicit. And honestly, I'm 14, those of all I say you have to be 18, I follow them anyway, because I like to break the rules. I live to break the rules. So... being the rebellious person I was, I downloaded those pictures, and honestly, I did not get the idea myself. I got it from this picture on Tumblr that had, like, an album, and it said Bone Daddy, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a folder, or an album, on my phone, call it the Bone Zone. And so, the Bone Zone was created, and now, let me check, I have exactly 130, I think? Let me see. I have... 130 pictures of the Bone Zone, and then just for kicks, I got the other Bone Zone, which only has 8, because you know who it is, and honestly, it's weird. And, honestly, this was crazy. It was a wild ride over the past almost a year. Well, not almost a year, because I'm thinking of, like, September. Jesus fucking Christ, my birthday is in November. But by the time I actually am 18, I'll probably not have a crush on him anymore, which kinda sucks. Like, why was I born at this time? So it's the one that complains about how, like, Windows 95 and wants to be like a 90s kid. Like, Jesus Christ, that would sound awesome, but the restrictions and stuff. But it's just that I don't know why I decided to tell you guys the story. It's just a thing, like, I don't know. This is really gonna have an intro or an outro because it's just gonna be there. It's just gonna be a story. So, I guess that's it. See you guys.